Hello and welcome. It's Monday. It's about 9:30. It's July. I know it's hard to tell because here in Ventura it's still October. But it's 90 degrees in the mountains somewhere, and Texas is having tornadoes and stuff. So, weather, yeah. My broadcasting teacher once said if you have nothing else to talk about, you can always talk about the weather. So, fortunately, we do have some stuff to talk about. We have some RPG news in the wake of virtual San Diego Comic Book Convention, in the wake of Free RPG Day, and at the beginnings of the snifflings of the samplings of Gen Con virtual, which I think is this weekend. We do have a little bit more news for what's going on in our amazing hobby this week than we did last week. So right now we are back to telling what crowdfundings and Kickstarters are ending. Let's start right there. Okay. The Mythological Figures and Maleficent Monsters for 5th edition from EN Publishing is ending July 31st. They have been pushing this and talking about this for almost a year now. So this is a book of every mythological monster figure from our actual whatever. Um, turned into monsters. So you could have, stats for Hercules, stats for Thor, stats for Baba Yaga, stats for Dracula, Rasputin, whatever. So it's turning a lot of real world things like Bigfoot and stuff like that into giving them D&D stats. Does those need to exist? I don't know. Monster Care Squad from Sandy Pug Games is ending its Kickstarter on August 2nd. This is an original system. It's a Ghibli inspired tabletop adventure of healing monsters and solving local problems. So it's a lot like Golden Sky Stories, very role playing, very harmony, very respect between humans and monsters, very, we can solve our problems without combat. Sounds like a good game for kids, and who wouldn't want to role play in the world of My Neighbor Totoro or Kiki's Delivery Service? I know I would. Uh, Earth Dawn 4th edition from FASA is ending its Kickstarter on July 31st with a module called Empty Thrones. Necro Not Nautilus science fantasy tabletop role-playing game from World Champ Game is ending its on my birthday, August 4th. It's my birthday. You have to get presents. It's an original system about traveling around a dead Lovecraftian semi-magic space thingy and, encountering weird aliens and stuff like that. Wait for Me from Jeon Shim and Kevin Culp. It's a time travel role-playing game. Original system, a 22-day journalizing game about time travel and connections. So you journal the whole thing over a 3-week period of time and then role play. I don't know. It sounds amazing. Book of Corals for the Ironclaw role-playing game from Sanguine Productions. It's an original system. It ends its Kickstarter Friday 31st. It's new species, classes, and high adventures for anthropomorphic role-playing in the Ironclaw anthropomorphic fantasy role-play game. Interesting to see that that's still around. When Shadows Fall by Neil Latham ends its Kickstarter August 6th. It's an original system, post-apocalypse horror. Okay, so that's what's coming to an end this month. Now let's go for what EN RPG news we have. A little we have. And of course, right now, the big one is that there is a role-playing game coming out called Tales of Xadia. So if you love the Dragon Prince setting from Netflix's The Dragon Prince, the unofficial heir to Avatar and Korra, they are coming up with a role-playing system. Wizards of the Coast released a new Dungeons and Dragons board game called Adventure Begins. That came out this week, getting a lot of good no's. The most popular D&D class is Warlock, surprisingly enough. Warlock is, so I guess D&D Beyond did an unofficial poll where they were testing to see what people were making the most classes of, and Warlock is number one. Barbarian is number 2. Interesting. And Fighter, actually, no, it looks like, yeah, Warlock was number 1, Fighter's number 2, Barbarian number 3, Rogue, and at the very bottom, it looks like Druid. Uh, looks like there's a Dune role-playing game coming out. Harlem Unbound second edition is now available. So that is a Call of Cthulhu setting for modern city types of things. The Arthurian film The Green Knight, which is in development, Twilight, has a role-playing game come out. So if you want a role-playing game that reflects the stuff you saw in Cursed on Netflix or the forthcoming Green Knight movie, which may or may not ever see the light of day, there's a role-playing game coming out for this. There's a second edition of Bloke's Games Survive This Zombies coming out, but now they're converting it to, it was always D20, but I guess they're going more D20 with this. Yeah. New feats for playtests on Unearthed Arcana from Wizards of the Coast. Closed beta test for Dune Adventures in the Imperium role-playing game. There's a new Vampire the Masquerade card game coming out. This month's Humble Bumble is from Pathfinder. And that's, oh, and Cyberpunk has been delayed again. Is anybody surprised about that? It seems to be just permanently delayed for Cyberpunk, whatever. So that's all the news this week. We are still waiting to see what, if anything, comes out post San Diego Comic-Con for us directly. I know that there is doing a something with Matt Mercer playing Strahd for the D&D Beyond live stream stuff, because, you know, he's Matt Mercer and he's just so amazingly talented. Literally, the guy has one fucking voice that he does. And he's not the world's best D&D DM. So yeah, I guess he's gonna be playing Strahd in something, voiceover or whatever. So yeah, the only person who's doing voiceover and mocap I'm interested in, of course, is my friend TJ Storm. That's it. That's all I have to tell you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the summer if you have summer where you are. Wash your hands, wear your masks, and talk to you losers later.